Hi, this is Nick from SquareKicker, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can change an image on hover in Squarespace without using any code. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is open up a Squarespace site with SquareKicker installed, and you can see as I toggle the key G, I can turn the grid and fluid engine on and off. So I'm going to leave that on because that's going to be important for later on. So what I want to do is make this image, when I hover on it, this image is going to be revealed. And so the same thing applies to these two images here. Now to do that, I just have to click and hold, and then I drag this image to sit right on top of another image. Now I can use Fluid Engine to actually resize this to make sure it's actually filling the entire image so I can't actually see it. So that's actually quite important. Now what's going to happen is I want this image to disappear when I hover on it. I can only change the hover state of the image I'm on. I can't change the state of the image behind it. So I need to make sure whatever I do, it's going to be to this image on top. So as I click and open up SquareKicker, and I click down to effects. Now effects is going to have a few things. It's going to have opacity and scale and blur. So this becomes where I want to change this on hover. So I click on my hover state, which is my lightning bolt, and now the whole UI turns blue. And now anything I do in this state is going to change what happens to this image when I hover on it. So I want this image to be hidden. So I'm going to click on opacity and bring it right down to 0. And I'm going to click off hover. So as I click that on and off, you can see this is what happens when I hover on it. It disappears. Now I want to slow down this transition so I can click back on it and actually bring this up to maybe half a second. You can even type in 500 milliseconds here. And this now means that when I hover on it, this transition is going to be half a second long. And now you can see a blue dot. This references a hover action is being applied to this. See what happens if I actually change it to 50% now. That means it is 50% normal state, and then it is 100% opacity in its hover state. So I'm not going to leave that on. I'm going to keep it as 100% opacity, but that's why you can see these two, yellow and blue. The yellow refers to the SquareKicker changes on the block, and the blue refers to the SquareKicker changes when hover is activated. And that wraps up this tutorial on changing images on hover in Squarespace. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and get a heads up on our new tutorials.